Ross Coulthart is back with me. He did the interview for News Nation, and I want to bring in some more voices also to add to this conversation. We want to get all sides in. Mick West is a key voice in these discussions. He does not believe Dave's story. He doesn't think that it adds up. I also have with me Michael Shellenberger, who believes that this has been a long time coming, and Michael does believe David Grusch's story. But Mick, I want to start with you. You've seen the interview. Are you essentially calling David Grusch a liar?
No, I think he seems to actually believe what he's saying. But the clip you just played there, the complaint and the IG adding credibility to his story, isn't actually true. His lawyer, who just basically parted ways with him a couple of days ago, issued a statement, which is quite unusual, saying that they had been misrepresented and that the whistleblower complaint was actually very narrowly scoped and did not speak to the specifics of the alleged classified information that Mr. Grusch is now publicly characterizing. So the idea that it adds credibility to the actual claims he is making isn't true. It's simply credible that he's making some allegation that there was something that was covered up, not what that thing actually was.
Let me bring Ross in because there is some, there's an interesting development. I read the statement too, Ross. I didn't quite read it like that. I took the statement from his lawyer and the former inspector general to be, look, we did what we were out to do here to get him this far, and we've finished. I mean, what's going on with the lawyer?
Okay, let me just make it very clear here. Mick's unfortunately misconceived what the lawyers were actually talking about. Great respect. The simple fact is the representations that were made by the Inspector General, not by the lawyers, are the ones that are relevant. And the Inspector General of Intelligence Security, and I've confirmed this with Mr. Grusch, the Inspector General of Intelligence and Security took evidence under oath not only from Mr. Grusch, but also from people inside the legacy UAP program. Witnesses have given evidence in support of David Grusch's allegations to the Inspector General, and it wasn't just about the reprisal allegations. Unfortunately, you're going to hear in coming days, I can't talk about it at this stage, but you're going to hear in coming days that Chuck McCullough is still acting for David Grusch. He hasn't dissociated himself from his client at all. And in fact, you will see something I'm not allowed to explain, but basically it'll come out in due course that Mr. McCullough is still acting for his client.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on that because that'll be an interesting. I just want to get Mick back in. We'll be looking for that because there's been some uncertainty with the lawyer situation. But Mick, I just want to ask you because you're a skeptic. The thing that I keep going back to is David Grusch has these incredible credentials. High-level intelligence officer, spent years keeping these secrets, has now gone under oath, essentially, and could go to jail for lying about some of this stuff. I mean, what would his reason for lying be?
I don't necessarily think that he's lying. All the stuff that he says has been cleared by DOPSA, the Defense Office of Pre-Publication and Security Review. That doesn't mean that it's actually true. It doesn't mean that he's lying, but it also doesn't mean that it's accurate. The things that have been cleared for release are
I don't get it. I'm sorry. I don't understand.
Yeah.
What do you mean if you don't believe his story, but then wouldn't he be lying? Explain to me what you mean.
No, he will be mistaken. If someone has told him stuff and he believes that what they have told him, he is not lying. He's just mistaken. And the claims that he's made are quite extraordinary, and they're things that would be secret. The idea that we have aliens are killing Americans, the thing that we've discovered these craft, and the actual details of the analysis that we've performed on this isotopic analysis and things like that. If that was actually an adversary craft, we wouldn't want them to know what type of analysis we performed on them. So he's revealing things that would be secret. They've been cleared by the Department of Defense, which means they're not actually secret, which probably means that they're not actually true.
Interesting. Okay, I follow what you're saying now. Michael, I want to bring you in. You've said publicly just this week that you have heard from sources who also back up what Grusch has said. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, that's right. And I just want to clarify that I have not said that I believe David Grusch. What I've said is that I've spoken to multiple other people with high levels of security clearance who confirm the basic claim that Grusch is making, which is that the U.S. government is in possession of over 12 non-human craft. I'm actually not making statements about my own beliefs. I'm reporting what I was told by people with a lot of credibility that are in a position to know and that are very sane and so respected that they have achieved high levels of security clearance.